All right, and we live. So, unfortunately, Ray could not make it today. Yeah, he didn't tell me why. Maybe he's sick. Maybe he decided, we're too smart for him. I don't know.
Maybe he
Uh,
died.
he could have died. Poor guy. I mean, you know, maybe maybe he's out spending money on some bitches. Who knows?
No, again, they spend money on him.
I don't have time for that. So, uh, that's why I'm married and have just one person that I can focus my attention on.
Yep.
Trying to focus my attention on multiple people, not happening. So, but hey, if that's what he's doing, that's what he's doing. I hope all is well with him. He just said he couldn't get on today, so but don't forget to follow his stuff either way. We'll tell you that at the end. But hey, this is the nerdy phase with Serge and Tom today. I am the host. I kind of went outside the tradition. I did a Mario Kart hoodie. It's still video game related. Underneath here, though, I do have an Inca Cola shirt. So Inca Cola is my favorite Peruvian drink. Really, really good. It tastes like bubble gum, I'm told. It's the golden cola. So, but yeah, and then we got Tom. As always, he's existing in our space.
Yep.
He's going to continue to exist. We're just going to continue to say he exists because that's his catchphrase right now.
Yeah, ahoy.
Um,
Because no, I don't do anything fun. That's what you get when you're married, have kids, and work all the time.
ah,
FML.
I hear you. I'm married, have 4 kids.
Yeah.
So, but hey, the older the kids get, the more fun it becomes with other things. Like we played Fortnite today with my oldest, he's 10, and then my middle son, he's 6. And we played a few rounds of Fortnite. Um, dude, I was sniping left and right. I was like, just like sitting there. I'm like, guys, go after them. And I see them getting like pincered, and they're like, they think that I guess the people they're fighting think, oh yeah, we got some easy people. I mean, they're kids, of course they're pretty easy. But right before as soon as they get near, I'm like, boom, pop,
Yeah.
boom, pop. All right, you guys are safe now. Go have fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
thanks,
sitting on a
Dad.
hill. So they're just like, Dad, you took my kill. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna kill you if I didn't do that. But yeah, that it's a benefit of having kids. It's
God,
fun.
Dad, you're a what a kill stealing fuck. That's what you are.
But yeah. Hey, let's begin with what nerdy thing have we done this week?
I'll let you go first because mine's pretty epic.
Oh, okay. I haven't really done anything epic. Um, you know, nothing really. I've been playing One Piece World Seeker. Um, it's no right game. It's it's an action type RPG, so I don't mind playing it. I used to hate games like that because I'm like, oh, it's so repetitive. But now I'm like, it's a nice, relaxing game. So it's kind of cool running around as Luffy, in this big open world. So my favorite thing to do is like he can like, I don't know if you ever seen the cartoon or anything like that, or the anime. But he can kind of like extend himself, whoosh, grab on buildings, and he just launches himself. He does. You can do that in the game. You just grab onto buildings and launch yourself and just fly for like a few seconds. It's fun. So it's a really cool way of getting around.
So you played
Instead
Spider
of
Man?
having, huh?
So you played
Yeah,
Spider Man? Yeah.
close to it. Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I can get around and not like touch any buildings. And like, I guess there's an achievement for it, which I got. But
Nice.
I haven't really done anything. I'm failing my New Year's goal. I said I wanted to read 2 books per month. I haven't picked up a book in since last week. Um, that's actually been like 2 weeks. So I'm ready. I'm reading Ready Player 2 as well still. But I picked up a new manga, which I've been eyeing for a while. Um, and I'm gonna read that. It's called Rooster Fighter. So it's about this chicken who fights demons. I guess it's pretty cool. I read the first couple of chapters of Barnes and Nobles. But I'm kind of like the guys like I want to sit there and just read a whole book of Barnes and Nobles. I feel kind of bad. um, but just the opening scene, he's just like it's just this rooster, and he's like, yeah, you see him just like he has this hand bent over, and he's just going to town. I'm like,
Oh
okay, yeah, this is a good way to start. I was like, and he's like, oh, and she's like, oh, don't leave. He's like, I'm like the wind. I don't ever stay in one spot. It's kind of cool. So and then
Of
I'm
course,
debating
anytime you've
on
got a name like Rooster Fighter, it's like, oh, we all know what this is. This is Cockfighter, and of
yeah.
course it's kind of yeah.
Um, but then I still have like $15 left on my Barnes and Noble thing. So I'm debating on what next book to get. I've been kind of eyeing this book called The Tale of what's it called? A Tale of Two Stories or something like that. Um, it's pretty much it's between Tifa and Aerith. It's a Final Fantasy 7 remake um book, and it's based on their thoughts on what's happening between the both of them. And how they became friends and what they think is going on. So, um, kind of interested in that. But I'm
Let
also
me let me
debating.
pause you real quick. That is one thing that I do appreciate about books. So a lot of times everybody goes on the rant about how, oh well the books are so much better than the movies. And it's like, oh yeah, there's more like, descriptions and things like that. But really one of the biggest things is the fact that, not only are you seeing more detail, but you're also actually reading the thoughts of the characters themselves, so you understand their motivations a lot more. You get a much
Yeah.
better character development in a book than you do in any kind of like video game
Well,
or movie
not
or
only
TV
that, but
show.
like in Final Fantasy VII, the remake, a little rabbit trail here, nerd fam, but it's all good. We love our rabbit trails. Um, Final Fantasy VII remake, you're not really seeing the thoughts of other characters. It's just you're seeing the thoughts of what they're relating to the main character, which is Cloud. But you never really go around playing with Aerith by herself. If you have Aerith, Cloud is right there. So you just see her talking to Cloud, but you never see her, be like, oh, I think this about Cloud, blah blah blah, or think this is. So that's why I'm kind of interested in reading that book. But I'm also trying to I'm kind of conflicted because I'm also thinking about buying another book called Ask Ottawa. Um, Ottawa. Oh, what was his name? Ottawa. I'll have to remember his last name. But anyways, he passed away. Um, so he is one of the he was one of the key people in uh what you call it. Yeah, it was Satoru Ottawa. Um, and he was one of the key people of Nintendo. So excuse me. So with him being one of the key people in Nintendo, this is his interviews and words of wisdom and stuff that he has about Nintendo. So I thought it'll be really interesting to read as well. So I'm just trying to decide between that. I was hoping for more Barnes and Noble's gift cards because that's what I told everybody to literally get me. But it didn't happen. So and then anime. Um, Jujutsu Kaisen finally finished season 2. It ended in a It did end on a fantastic note, and it was cliffhanger too. So I was pretty bummed out. I'm like, dang, I want more. But that it ended, and it's fine. One Piece started its new arc, it's the Future Island Egghead arc. Um, so I started that finally because the previous arc was the Wano arc. 200, I think it was like 270 something episodes. That was a 4-year arc. Because think about it, they only air um one episode a week, so that's 4 episodes a month. So yeah, 4 years to finish this Wano arc, and now they're in their new thing. But the anime has finally entered its final arc. So One Piece is coming to an end. It could be 2 years from now. It could be another 10 years. Who knows with this guy? But still. And then I recently discovered this anime called MF Ghost. So sports animes are not ones I like to watch, right? But there's been two sports animes that one that I just recently watched, and then one that I watched a long time ago. So I started when was it? Early 2000. I started watching Initial D, and at that time it was big. A lot of people knew what it was. Have you heard of it?
No, I'm not. I mean, I think I've
Okay.
heard of it, but it probably was because you guys were talking about it.
I doubt it. I don't think Ray watched Initial D.
Yeah, I think you brought it up, and I think I
Right.
don't know. Yeah,
So Initial D is it was pretty much about this it was about r- street racing in Japan. And the whole big thing is that there's I don't know how familiar you are with cars, but this guy with the main character, his main car is a Chireno 86, which is just a hatchback type car that's not expected to do anything. And for whatever reason, when he started racing, you know, he was racing against a Mazda RX-7, one of the first times, and it was just some, they don't, and he destroyed him in this. He was just really good downhill specialist, and it's all from there. So it's just about street racing. It's about this 86 that destroys Lancers, Mazda RX-7s, Nissan GTRs, which is a Skyline for those who don't know. It's just super unrealistic. I mean, not really. I guess it depends, but the way they talk about it is just it's just a sports car, street racing. I I really wanted to for a long time I really wanted to do a street race. My first car I bought was a Dodge Neon SRT4. If you for those who don't know, that's the in 2005. That's when they stopped making it, but also that year that's when they won the WRC for its category. So the Dodge Neon SRT4 was turbocharged. So I really I thought it was cool. I got into a car wreck with it and killed it, so it made me sad. And I don't have a whole lot of pictures of it because at the time I didn't really have we didn't have smartphones when I had that car, so
yeah,
it's
it's
just
digital camera age at that point in time.
yeah. So I lost a lot of those pictures, but it was cool. It was red. It was fast. Um, mine could have been faster, but I didn't. Mine was an automatic transmission, not a manual transmission. They came out with two models of that, but it was still pretty fast considering
Yeah,
because it was still turbocharged. So, but you know, it is what it is. I slid on weather like we have now. It was -4 here. We had ice and it wasn't quite negative like that, but I slid on ice and killed it.
yep.
So, but anyways, so Initial D, I kind of it's always been a filler anime for me. So just recently, I finished watching it because as I do chores and dishes or anything like that. I watch TV in my kitchen. And I finished Initial D again for the first. I finished it for the first time and then realized there's a fifth and final stage because Crunchyroll only has four stages, four seasons. So, but I can't find the other seasons unless I go stream on some stupid one of those websites where you can stream for free. But I honestly I used to love stuff like that, but I hate it because the first off I don't want to sit there and be watching all of a sudden like this girl bent over showing her booty just comes at me and be like, "Hey, click here." I'm like, "No, I don't want to see this." You know what I mean? Those websites are just filled with so much porn spam or just spam in general. You click a link and four windows open up. You have a virus. Oh, click here for more fun times. I'm like,
Yeah,
no, I don't
I've
want
never
that.
been lied to more
So
than there's never 40, a bunch of horny milfs in my area. It's always a lie.
yeah, so so I'm just not a fan of that. So I found it, but so I found fifth and final stage, but it's just really hard to watch because, but MF Ghost, I saw this. I'm like, oh, it's a racing anime. It's okay, okay, cool. I'll put it in my watch list. And then for whatever reason, I was like, just looking, and then so I saw something on Facebook. Oh, the new MF Ghost, the sequel to Initial D. I'm like, the sequel to Initial D? What? Huh? So I read the synopsis of what happened in Initial D, so I didn't have to finish the episodes because I could kind of guess for the most part. And I started watching MF Ghost. I'm like, oh,
Now,
okay, cool.
not that we ever encourage doing anything that is questionable by the law. However, though, have you not thought about trying to torrent it or anything?
Um, I had thought about trying to torrent it, yeah. But it's one of those things where depending on how you first watch it,
Hmm.
it's whether it's sub or dub. There's some animes I can go both ways. But the thing is with Initial D, they talk about so much technical stuff that it's just easier to watch it dub because they actually talk about the weight ratio of a car, the grip on the tires,
Oh,
what type of engines.
does a dub version not exist? Is that what you're saying?
As of right now, I haven't found one for the,
Okay.
you know, so, but there's one website I haven't looked at that I can probably look at, but
Yeah.
you know, but we don't do anything illegal here, Nerd Fam. Um, get
No,
all
you
your
go to
stuff
jail.
legally. Crunchyroll. So I haven't really torrented anything forever. I stream everything. It's first off, look, it's $8 a month. I'm not here advocating for Crunchyroll, but $8 a month
And we all
is
use it.
worth
There's
it.
plenty of, well, not, I mean, I'm not currently paying for it, but we've all used it at some point in time. It's got a good selection. It's like, okay, I could pay for cable and, see these shows right when they come out, or I could just wait a year and they'll pop up on Netflix or Amazon or something, and then I'll just watch it when I watch it.
Yeah. So Myth Ghost, I've been watching that. Really good so far. I'm on the last episode, but the last episode isn't dubbed. It's still subtitles. So I'm waiting for the dub because I watched every episode dubbed. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch it dub. Um, what other? Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist. Third season came out. So, um, Blue Exorcist is unique. It's one of those. So let's see. Season 1 was 26 episodes. Season 2 was 12, and I don't know how much season 3 is gonna be. But when you watch Blue Exorcist, you watch season 1, it ends in a happy way. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Then you start season 2, it has nothing to do with what happened. You're like, what's going on? So Blue Exorcist, when they got to like episode 14, 15, something like that, on season 1, they caught up to the manga, and instead of ending it, the animators just did their own thing. So they went completely off the rails, wrote their own story, did all that stuff. So if you're interested in watching Blue Exorcist, watch season 1 up until episode 14 or 15. I'm not spoiling anything, but it's a fight with him in the forest, and he goes berserk. And then stop like an episode, like I'll say 16 would probably be the final one to watch. And then just look it up. The internet will tell you, but then you start season 2, and it makes more sense. It took me a minute to figure that out. So, and then I've been watching Solo Leveling. Did I say that? I didn't know. Solo Leveling is really good. It's the episode I just watched, the latest episode was brutal.
Yeah, you
Like,
brought that up on the last podcast. I think you brought it up on the last podcast.
oh yeah. But this I watched episode 2. And the brutality that just did not end. It became even more brutal. So
Crunchyroll as well, I assume.
it's on Crunchyroll. Yeah.
Okay.
It's So it was yeah, it was really good. I don't want to spoil a whole lot, but um, just the scenes. It's just like, wow, can't expect that.
And he convinced my wife, and maybe we need to cut down on one of the streaming platforms that we're using, so I could pick up Crunchyroll, so I could start binging through some shows. Just one of those things. Like, I don't really do a whole lot of TV watching time and everything, so I don't exactly. So yeah, I never get around to it. But no, like what we're here on the Nerdy Phase. We're just a bunch of pores trying to make a podcast. So it's not like we get access to everything. But whatever.
But yeah, I mean, as far as my nerd stuff, that's what I've done. Just anime,
Yep.
Gaming. So nothing much.
That's fair.
What about you?
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen for this one for the grand reveal. Entire screen. We're just going to do this entire screen. Share. So yeah, I played Twilight Imperium. Second time I've ever played. I woke up. I was supposed to wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Didn't wake up until 6:30. Woke up, didn't take a shower or anything. Threw my clothes on because it was fucking cold. Literally had my snow boots on, a pair of pajama pants on underneath. Got out, drove, got all my stuff. Well, yeah, got up, got all my stuff ready. Drove over to my cousin's house. I got there about 7:30. Probably started playing after setup somewhere between closer to 8:30. We didn't get done playing until about 8:40 that night. This game, on average, takes about 10 to 12 hours, even longer depending on how many people you got playing. We could have played longer. However, though, we, due to inclement weather, everybody was being a big pussy about everything. They're like, oh, it's snowing. I don't want to die when I drive. It's like,
Right.
I don't care. Like if we weren't going to play this game, to the fullest extent, then we should have just played it on a different day, which is damn near impossible to get that many people coordinated to do something like that. But like, you don't get a whole lot of opportunities to play a game in that kind of setting, so you gotta have to do what you gotta do. So that being said, played. It was awesome. Here is a picture of the board that we had going on. So I was essentially the Empire. I was the Barney of Letenev. I forgot who it is. I don't. There's a shit ton amount of lore that's in this game, but
Yeah.
because you've got all these different races. So pretty much, I was the Empire. My buddy Ron sitting next to me, he was the Space Turtles. So my biggest thing was I am able to have a shit ton of ships. I wasn't able to get the shit ton of ships that I wanted, but plus I've got a bunch of the Armada. That's my entire thing. I get an armada of ships. I get bonuses anytime I want to bombard any planets and the units that are on it. But then I had a lot of fun, but at the same time, I really wish I would have sat somewhere else because I was really nervous on anything that I did. Because he had these mechs, and if I moved anywhere around his mechs, he was able to just take pot shots at me. He could have destroyed any of my ships.
And you said how long does this game take to play? You said 12 hours or more?
So for us, it was about 12 plus hour game yesterday. Last time I played, it was somewhere, I think, 10 or 11 hours we played last time I played. Last time I played, I was playing the Space Pussies.
Space what?
Cats. Space Pussies. No, just some Space Cats. They are like a banking clan. So they've got all the money. I've got all the ships. He has awesome defense. These guys are like nomads. So you have your home planets that everybody gets. They have a home planet, but their home planet are just space potatoes. They're just so if you know anything about physics, if you get to a certain size of anything of mass, you have an actual sphere. If you start going down there, like in our asteroid belt, there's not a whole lot of mass there, so everything kind of turns into like an oblong space potato. So because of that, he's actually able to bring all of his stuff with him. So you get these little builder things. He was able to take his builders around with him. He even created a little Death Star thing. Of course, anybody who knows anything about this game is probably getting triggered that I'm not using any of the right names. But yeah, no, the game was awesome. I would definitely. It's an expensive game, like $130 for just the base game. Another $100 for the expansion. All these things, so these boards right here, these were bought off Etsy. This was bought through some company through Canada. Made out of some really nice wood, and they click together just fine. He's got 2 boxes, and his boxes won't even shut flat because he's got so many extra expansions. Go ahead.
So what's the objective of the game here?
So the objective of the game is you want to get 10 victory points. So you get those points by doing a few things. So one, you get secret objectives. So my secret objective is having at least one ship on over a planet where the space dock is, where an enemy space dock was. So if I had my ship over here.
See, I see there's a pink person that pink. So this pink person got all the way there?
No, that's purple. Pink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, the screen might not be showing it, but yeah, this is a more purple color. It's more pink color. So the blue guy had a space dock over here. Was it here? It was here. Regardless, he had a space dock there. So because I had a ship that was just kind of hovering in orbit for one turn, I was able to get that. Another one is having 3 ships in void areas. So you've got this is a void area, that's a void area. So pretty much there's no planets. So that's another way to get a victory point. Another way is by having units on this center planet. That's kind of like Coruscant. more or less. And then if you get the Imperium card, so there's 8 of these cards. Here, actually, let me do this. I don't need you. I need you. There's an online version. So there's 8 cards. So there is leadership, diplomacy, politics, construction, trade, warfare, technology, and imperial. So like one of the ways you get points on here is immediately score 1 public objective if you fulfill its requirements. Cool, you get a point. But also you gain 1 victory point if you control Mechatol Rex. Otherwise, draw 1 secret objective. And then you have these secondary abilities that everybody gets to use. Spend 1 token from your strategy pool to draw 1 secret objective. So because somebody had stuff here, if they had the number 8 card, they just automatically got a victory point. So whoever gets to 10 victory points first, they win. But yes, it is a fascinating and amazing game, but you need to have people. If you have like 3 people, it might only take like 8 hours to play. So and I'll try to get through this pretty quick. So everybody has these different rounds. And so if I do something in order around, everybody gets to do something. And then so it's almost like poker, so if I raise, everybody else gets a turn. If I stay, then I stay. But the thing is, though, if I stay, then this person gets to go. And if that person gets to do anything he does, everybody around gets to react to what he does. So that's why the game takes as long as it does, because 1 round will take like an hour and a half. And I think
that's pretty cool. And I see that's made by Fantasy Flight Games. I'm pretty familiar with them. They make lots of cool games. I think they have a few games on my list that I want. I don't think I have anything about Fantasy Flight Games right now, but nonetheless, they're pretty big. Actually, I think I have like a mobile game by them because they did this Cthulhu game.
Okay.
That I may have, but no, they're a great company. So
yeah. And let me also, so that one image that I showed where I was able to show you the Imperial card, card, that one is the screen that I showed you is an online version of it. So the person to my right and the left on that board that I showed you, we went ahead and started up a game just so we kind of figure out the mechanics of it, and then eventually we're going to play with 8 players
online.
And online. Now the game's going to take like a few weeks to finish.
Do you have to pay to play online?
It's free. You have to have a certain code to get in there. Which, if you want to play, let me know. I'll make sure you get into it. But
I might be interested.
I'm trying to figure out the best way for you to get into it, because the interface on this, it's a web browser. It's a application on your phone, and same thing with the PC. So it's not an application you have. It's just a web page you could pin to your start bar, more or less. You could open up and play. So the controls aren't exactly the most intuitive, and the gameplay itself isn't exactly the most intuitive. So if you would like to play at any point in time, I'd be more than happy to start up a game just to go over.
I'd be interested.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like we would have to take a couple hours, hang out on like a stream or something, so I could show you just how to fucking play.
That sounds good. That sounds like a really cool nerdy thing to do. Oh, God, I really wish more of the cool board games or more. I really wish they hit more online things of it, because there's a lot of cool board games. I just think, Ticket to Ride has some stuff online, which is kind of cool. I thought about getting that, a lot of stuff online. I have Ticket to Ride San Francisco. But,
I'm trying to talk to my cousin into installing a webcam above the board, and then we can literally just go back and play it. This game would be a lot easier on Tabletop Simulator, though. The assets exist, so all I got to do is just go to the, what do you call that? The workshop, download the assets, and then you can start playing. So I would say if you and I were going to play, we probably want to go ahead and play on tabletop first, and then we could play this. So you could literally just pull up your phone in the middle
Right.
of the day because you'll get a notification, hey, it's your turn. And you just go in and then do whatever.
Uh, I just think it's funny because one of my favorite board games of all time
Mhm.
came out in 2002. It's
Yeah.
now a pretty rare board game. It's Star Wars Epic Duels. You
Yeah.
played that before?
Well, we talked about it last stream. Yeah.
Okay, it's a
Don't you
sick
remember the
game.
short? You were talking about the other Star Wars game?
That was Star Wars Lost Jedi Unleashed. Yeah,
I know, but we
yeah.
talked about the other one. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still
Jedi
love
Duels.
that game.
Which again, those assets also exist on Steam. On,
Nice,
sorry, Tabletop Simulator.
nice. So,
Actually, that's
but
what.
anyways,
No, if you want to get that, if you pick up Tabletop Simulator, I will. We will download the assets, and you and we could start playing the Jedi Duel game.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But anywho, let's get into our next segment, right? It's nerd news.
Nerd
As always,
news.
nerd news. This is where we nerd fam. This is where we tell you what's going on in the world of nerds. So as far as what we all like to nerd out about anything. So, but let's start off with something simple. This was a wild card weekend for the NFL. I don't know how much you follow football, Tom, but um, I wasn't real big into following NFL or anything like that up until just recently, because trying to learn this stuff with the nerd fam. I was huge following football for a while back in my early college days. We're talking about 20 years ago. Then I quit. Got bored.
And then T Swift started, boning a football player, and then you're like, oh my
Yeah,
god, I'm all about football now.
Travis Kelsey. That's right. Swift Nation. We're mentioning your girl and your boy again. Travis Kelsey, Taylor Swift.
See,
Shout
and
out
I
to them.
know. See, with my thing with sports is I love sports. I love playing sports. If I'm watching any game, be it football, hockey, basketball, baseball, soccer, I know what the rules are. I know how the game's played. Now, of course,
Oh, okay, that's yeah.
if you throw me on a football field, like I'm going to struggle, like catching and throwing the ball the right way and everything. I don't know how to tackle anybody to save my life. At least a good, efficient tackle. Just because I've never played it, but I play baseball, I played soccer, I played lacrosse. I played street hockey, which isn't the same, but I know, like one of my favorite things about me is that despite being like a band nerd and loving video games and doing Boy Scouts and all these things, like, I always like to say I don't do it all, but I've done it all,
I hear you.
like I suck at basketball, but a couple of years ago, I was over at my brother-in-law's house, and we're all hanging out drinking, and we went outside and played horse, and I got in second place. I'm like, oh damn, So remember, kids, whether or not the kids want to play sports or not, get your kids involved in sports just so they're not fucking losers when they grow up and they have something to do with other people at a bare minimum.
But this week we had the team that made it to the start of the wild card weekend. Ravens for the AFC are on bye, and San Francisco 49ers for the NFC are on bye as well. They both got first round they both got their first seed. What that means, if you are the first seed in your conference, you get a bye week. So, which works out. So this week we had Dolphins and Chiefs play. Fun fact about that game, it was -4 degrees when they were playing out there. The fourth coldest NFL game in history. So
I saw a clip on Twitter the other day. Oh, I get not the other day, but I think earlier today of some crazy ass guy with no shirt with a beer in his hand, yelling.
yeah,
You see all the steam coming out of his mouth. I'm like, Jesus, fuck.
Andy Reid, the head coach, he had icicles on his beard.
Yeah. Oh, and then there was also I don't know which game it was, but on the Jumbotron, somebody got caught doing a key of Coke.
I don't know which game that was either. But we'll just say one thing about this game. The Chiefs won 26-7. Sadly. Nerd fan. For those who don't know, I'm a Dolphins fan. So I just gonna have to accept this loss. The Dolphins lost to the Chiefs twice. One in Kansas City, one in Germany this year. So it is what it is. Chiefs move on. You also had the Browns and the Texans played. I mean, the Texans came out to play and they crushed the Browns, so they won 45-15. And then you had the Packers, Cowboys. I didn't get to watch that game, but it was really, really good. Packers came to play and they beat the Cowboys. So the Cowboys were the second seed in the NFC, which is pretty surprising. Who would have thought the Packers would beat the Cowboys? But just because you're good in the regular season, postseason is a whole different animal. Some people suffer from. They may be good in the regular season, but some quarterbacks suffer from choking, chronic choking. It's a real disease. So, and the quarterback for the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. For all you Cowboy fans out there, that's okay. I'm gonna say this. You guys want to leave negative comments? I'm all fine for it. Dak Prescott chokes in the playoffs every single year. Just saying. So, and then the last game I'm gonna talk about, the Lions Rams game. That was a good game. The Lions won 24-23. Good game. And this is the first time that you've seen the Detroit Lions win a playoff game in 32 years. This is history in the making, there, fam. And a fun fact about the game: so the quarterback for the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, used to play for the Rams, and the quarterback for the Rams, Matthew Stafford, used to play for the Detroit Lions last year. Seems like so, or 2020. So, so it's kind of cool. It was 2020 when they. But anyhow, that's it for sports as far as news goes. We'll see the rest of the next set of teams play tomorrow. We're talking about maybe we'll discuss that next podcast, but it'll be Buffalo Wild Wings. I just say Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm an idiot, never fam. So Buffalo Wild Wings is delicious. They do have great sauces. Their chicken just sucks. So that's what I meant to say. The Buffalo Bills will be playing the Steelers, and then you will have the Eagles versus the Buccaneers. So those are the next two games left, and then we'll move on to the divisional round. So we'll see how it goes from there. My prediction for this year for the Super Bowl, you're gonna hear it here, and you're gonna hear it from me first. Detroit Lions, Baltimore Ravens, Super Bowl, with Lions winning their first Super Bowl ever. That's what I'm going for. So, but we'll see. All right, next piece of news. All right, so Game Shark. All right, do you remember Game Shark back in the day from the PlayStation?
Hell, did I have one? Yeah, I had one for the PlayStation. I had one for N64. I had one for my. Did I have one? Yeah, I had one for my Sega.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I didn't, but my cousin had one for the SNES.
So the Game Shark, for whatever reason, it was gaming in the 90s, early 2000s was so much different than it is now. Game Shark was a device that you plugged into the back of your PlayStation or plugged your cartridge in there, and it enabled you to have cheats.
Went to the save slot on the PlayStation, yeah.
Right, and so you can have infinite lives, infinite health, max health, never die, things like that.
It was the closest thing we had to mods back in the day.
Right. But mods, some mods don't let you have infinite life. But Game Shark is revealed that it's coming back. It's going to be called Game Shark AI, and the only reason no one cared about it. They're like, oh, Game Shark, okay, blah blah blah. Game Shark, was this considered a leak or marketing? Game Shark announced they're going to be releasing Game Shark AI in September, and they're going to release the same month the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro comes out, the month of September. So it's funny because it's been all over the news as far as IGN. IGN is like, oh, Game Shark just leaked something, and then Game Shark kind of came back and like, no, we're just speculating. So was it a leak or was it smart marketing? I personally think it was smart marketing, and I think they just did that to give attention to themselves because no one knows what Game Shark is anymore. If you're not an old school gamer, you're not gonna know what it is. So
Yeah, I mean, you got to get the hype up. I mean, it's one of those things. No,
yeah,
no. What is it? There's no such thing as bad press.
right,
So I would imagine they're probably doing that on purpose. But of course, then you've got the bullshit from Grand Theft Auto 6. Somebody went in and stole those assets and released it online and everything, and they fucking shat
yeah.
themselves. Like, come on, like nobody. I mean, obviously, people are still playing GTA, but like I'm so bored. Like I stopped playing that game a while ago. It's like, come on, come out with new shit.
It's
Like
like
I've already beaten the game.
Elder Scrolls 5,
Hmm.
Skyrim.
Yeah,
How many times do I have to see that game again? But then another big thing, so uh, these games have a cult following, and they finally released on Nintendo Switch Online on the Game Boy Advance. Golden Sun 1 and 2. Um, just your old traditional RPG. I played Golden Sun for a little bit. Um, I might get back into it now since it's on there. It'd be interesting.
yeah.
But they have a cult following. People love it. There's one person on the Nintendo voice chat that I listen to. Her name is Reb Valentine. Reb, if you're listening, if you ever listen to this, I'm shouting out to you. So it'll be cool if she did, but I don't think she ever will. But
Yeah,
maybe we can make that happen.
we could
But
dream, can't
anywho,
we?
yeah. But Reb Valentine loves these games, and it was funny because the week before these games released, the podcast I recorded, she didn't know they were coming out, and she was like, "I wish one of the things that came out on this was things that they're anticipating for 2024." She was like, "Nintendo needs to release Golden Sun 1 and 2 on the Game Boy Advance emulator
That's pretty
next
dope.
week." That
I
happens. So,
almost shat myself when Fire Emblem came out. Like that's like the only Fire Emblem
oh
game
yeah,
I've
yeah.
ever played, and it's such a cool concept of a game. With the fact that like if you lose one of your characters, you fucking lose your character and you're fucked.
Ooh.
Oh man, that was rough. So like luckily on the Switch you could save your progress. So it's like, every couple turns I'll go ahead and save, do a save point just so I could go back so I don't have to replay the entire chapter over
I
again.
just rewind.
What?
So
You
yeah,
could do
on
that?
Nintendo Online, you can rewind.
What? I haven't. How do you?
So if you make a mistake, you hit the L and R button and you rewind.
Oh, I never looked at. I literally either exit game or save point. That's it.
Yeah, you can rewind. So
Oh shit! That could have saved me so much time when I was playing through that. I haven't beaten it yet, but I beat
um,
the first main story portion.
this is the one that's on there, Fire Emblem. It's the one with Lindis, Elwood, right? Hector. So, 'cause I remember the first Fire Emblem game I played on the Game Boy Advance. I played it when it first came on Game Boy Advance, and I remember
I forgot I muted myself, but Dorcas is one of the names. He's the one with the throwing axe. He's
okay.
he's OP. I like him. He's not OP, but I like him.
It's kind of funny because like this game, like when I first played it, I went through the whole thing, and there's one character that I lost early on. As soon as he came on, I lost him, and I'm like, I don't want to do that again. So I just left him dead. It was this pirate guy who appears. He comes to help. He's a pirate, and he died. I made a mistake. He died, and I was like, dude, I was doing so good, everything. So I left him dead. Well, I did not know that was gonna happen. I didn't know they died a permanent death,
Yeah,
and that's when I first found out. But then I got to the last boss, and it was this guy in this you know, this guy in the turban. I'm not gonna give you a strategy how to beat him or what he does, but let's just say that um, I tried multiple times to try to beat him without losing a single character. I found that impossible. I ended up having one character left by the time he died. I'm like, this is the last boss. It's got to be because I looked it up, and so I was like, this is the last boss. I'm just gonna go sacrifice. So there was no other way I could do it.
hmm
Maybe now since I'm older, smarter, maybe I can do it.
yeah.
Wiser, more
I always hated
handsome.
the inventory system. Like, cause like
Oh yeah, yeah.
you need to have some backup weapons. Like there was no like storage, like between missions you could throw shit, which I think that would have made the game a lot better. I'd like to see a mod of that game on the PC so I could play the game, but then I also like, they add in like some storage containers or just allow you to carry more things because you only carry
Yeah,
because you
it's
only
been like that
carry
since the
four
dawn of
things.
time, though.
Oh yeah.
Because even
Well,
even even if you go to the other ones, you still can't carry very much.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying I would like that feature on there. Because yeah, I've lost so many, health potions and stuff or vulnerary or whatever the fuck they call it. I lost so
Right,
many of those just because I'd pick up things mid mission and I'm like, oh shit, like I didn't know this, and you can't like go back for the item later.
right. So, um, but anywho, let's move on. Fire Emblem, it's a great series.
Hell yeah, it is.
Newest game on there is Fire Emblem Engage on the Switch. I want to pick it up. I just haven't yet. I heard it's really good.
Mhm.
So it went back to its roots apparently. But Stranger Things 5 is now in production. Stranger Things season 5. Um, it still has a crazy release date of 2026, 2026. You know, it's almost dying because when the last season came out, like 2021, 2022, 2022.
Early 3,
Was it early 3? Yeah.
maybe late 2 or early 3. One of the probably no, because they did a two-parter, I think.
Oh
So
yeah,
they did
early 3, late and middle 3. Because it was
I,
once in the summer.
well, I thought they did October around Halloween time.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, whatever.
But still really good show. So I'm pretty excited that hopefully it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
But you know, and then one of the things it's kind of funny. We've talked about this before. But the makers of Hogwarts Legacy really wanted to brag. Hogwarts sold 22 million copies last year. It was the best-selling game of 2023. So let me let's you know, what's his name? Jeff Knightley. Jeff Knightley, if you ever listen to my podcast, I have one question for you. Why? Why did your committee, why did whoever is in charge of the Game Awards choosing games, why did we snub Hogwarts Legacy when it was the best selling game of 2020? Makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't in any category whatsoever.
And so kind of going back to my rant, a while back about the new Star Wars game and everything, Jedi Survivor, like that game came out, it was shit. Great story thus far, but still shit in terms of overall production and how many people bought and all that kind of good stuff. And so did Hogwarts Legacy. They had a bunch of issues on release as well. They patched most of
On
the
PC
issues.
though.
Yeah.
That's the thing is PC is the one that getting shit on because console. I got that game on release on console. It ran beautifully, no glitch. I didn't have any crashes. I didn't have anything like that. It was good.
But the
But
point
yeah,
being though
PC.
is they fixed the game and it sold more than anything else, and it wasn't on Game Awards. It's just mind blowing how
Mind
something
blowing.
that sold that
And
well and that was released. So I don't know if anybody here watches Game Theorist, which Matt Pat is going to be stepping down from that, which is interesting. It's going to be
I
Equals
heard
3
about
all
that.
over again, and he's going to.
That
So
thank
yeah,
you. That
nerd
was my next
news.
piece of news.
Yeah. So,
Matt
but
Pat stepping down.
yeah, I'll get back to that. But he was talking about like one of the big things about games and scoring well, at least for the Game Awards, is an early release. The earlier you have to release, because a lot of these people playing these games, because people our age, people in their 30s, 40s, they're playing video games and they have lives, so they can't just take an entire day to play half the story, or they can even play, they, we only get a few hours a week to play video games. So if you release the game early, that gives people more time to actually play through the game and enjoy the game and have an opinion on the game. And, despite the game doing as well as it did and being released as early as it was, there's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't have been Game Awards, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. It should, it really should have been at least something. Um, so I think it's some of the categories that could have been in it. You know, it could have been the action. I would consider that like an action adventure game, action
Mm-hmm.
action or adventure. Yeah,
Yeah.
action RPG. One of those two. I think it could have went best action RPG at least.
Yeah.
And it should have been nominees for Game of the Year.
Mhm.
Over Resident Evil 4 remake, honestly.
Yeah.
But you know,
Oh well.
we're not the committee, right? Who are we to say? So
Yeah, exactly. We're
But
just some plebs. I got
anywho,
work wars.
the first big game of the year that people were looking forward to, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. Um, one of those games I'm interested in playing because it's a Metroidvania. Um, I am maybe a hot take, maybe not, but one of the greatest games of all time. One of the I wouldn't say OG Metroidvanias, but one of the games that created the genre, Metroidvania. And for those who don't know, Metroidvania is they recently call it that because you had Metroid, like a game like Super Metroid, which was you go through this like weird labyrinth thing, and then Castlevania. The Castlevania game that did it was Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Same thing. You go through a labyrinth type deal, and when you're going through the games that are played like that are called Metroidvanias. Thanks to those two games, that genre was created. So I was gonna say Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Once again, you want to leave hate comments? That's cool. It is probably one of the best games of all time. If you haven't played it, it released on the PlayStation, and you really need to play it. It's also on Apple Arcade, I believe. So Castlevania Symphony of the Night, one of the best games you'll ever play. So Prince of Persia got 8 out of 10, and it's that type of game. So if you're interested, I recommend it. So, it's on my list to play.
So what did you call that type of
Metroidvania?
A Metroidvania game. So there was one game. It was an indie game that got released. It was a digital download only on the Xbox 360. Now you've got me thinking about it, and now I have to find it. I think Epic made the game.
There's several. There's like Hollow Knight. You ever play Hollow Knight?
It was more 3D. It was like an actual 3D game.
Hollow Knight's a Metroidvania. Salt and Sanctuary. Blasphemy. Just to name a few.
I'll come back. I'll literally interrupt whatever you're saying at some point.
That's fine. I mean, you like to interrupt me anyway. So
Yeah.
what's new? What's new?
Well, nobody listens.
And then the final thing, this is kind of interesting. I just found out about this today, actually. Microsoft partnered with I can't remember the name of the company now. You can look it up for me. But Microsoft partnered with this company. It's a third party company, but it's going to be exclusive to the Xbox Series X and Series S. They're making Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That's the official name. They'll talk about it more in their showcase, which happens next week. So, it's kind of cool. Actually, I think the showcase happens this week. So, because this is Sunday, the day we're recording. But yeah, as far as nerd news, that's all we got. A lot of interesting stuff as far as gaming, sports. Nothing really in movies that I can think of right now, but we'll get to it. Oscars are coming up for sure. So, but let's talk about the subject at hand here. This past week, they had the CES in Vegas happen. For those who are not familiar with the CES is, the Consumer Electronics Show. Literally, all sorts of companies come out and they talk about they display their electronics and they show what's cool. So we'll begin with that. But first, Tom, I'm gonna show you something here. That's literally let's see here. That is, where did it go? This is one of the things that they had maybe never mind. I'm just gonna do this then real quick. But so LG, while I look for this, because I want to show you the video. LG released a transparent OLED, or they're releasing a transparent OLED. I think right now it's concept, but it's kind of cool. It's an OLED TV with a transparent display. Um, so what was that video? But I thought it was interesting because it's weird. It's never really been done, and they're trying to do it. We'll do this. No, I can't find the video I had pulled up. That's so stupid. You know, but um, but from the way it looks like, it's completely. We'll do this right here. So, all right, hold on. All right, so check this out. Right, I got it here. Microsoft Edge. Boom.
This is a
So
77-inch OLED TV that you can actually
yeah, this
see
is what's going
through
on
the
sale.
wall black
You see that?
film. This TV
Like,
to show off that transparent mode. You can go
how
into its
cool is
always
that? I
ready
mean, I don't know how I feel
screensaver and
about
choose
it,
from a bunch
but
of
it's
different things in the
cool.
background. You can show a fish tank.
I don't think
You can
there's
clock, weather. You can basically
any
make the
negative way
TV
to feel
behave as
about
if
it.
it's kind of regular
I mean,
television. Bring up
not,
that
I
black
didn't know about the
screen
black
and make
screen
it look
thing.
just
I didn't know
television.
about
LG
that
says
black
that the
screen thing. So I'm pretty
performance
sure
is going
that's
to be
cool
similar
that
to maybe
they
like a
did that.
C4, not their
So
very
that's
nice
one
crystal
thing.
televisions of the
They were
G4 and
mentioning
M4
something about the
series.
curtain
It's not going to be quite as
because I
bright.
watched the keynote on
Again,
it.
this is
Can
going to
you
be a
actually
really
turn the
nice
volume
looking
down on your
television
stream just a
generally,
little
given
bit?
the fact that OLED has excellent picture
We don't
quality
need the volume.
altogether.
Yeah. So I was mentioning that. Well, I was watching that, and I just didn't know what they were talking about the curtain. So there's actually a
Yeah.
physical curtain that rolls up, and that's pretty cool. One thing I wasn't too sure about how I felt about it is the fact that they've got a what do you call that? So the box that you plug all of your HDMI and everything into,
Oh yeah.
it's separate and it's wireless, which makes me
Mhm.
nervous.
They did
because,
that last year.
well, yeah, and it just like I understand technology's gotten to a point where your speeds don't everything's moving so fast you don't get that much lag, but at the same time, like, because you're having to put in the extra money to make it do that means you're bumping the price up. Like, just run me a cable. Like, everything that my mouse, my keyboard, everything is plugged in. Everything's because one, I don't want to fucking have to worry about connection issues. Two, I don't want to have to worry about batteries. Three, like, you get literally better speeds. Like, if I would love to buy that and I would love to play video games on it, but it's going to be hard for me to play. Like, there's a possibility that something's going on affecting the signal and I'm going to be lagging already harder than it's going to because it's not a CRT TV in the first place.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I have an OLED TV personally. We as we discussed at the TV and projector episode, but
Mhm.
like, this TV is gonna be ridiculous. Like so like an 8K OLED TV, it runs you $30,000 from LG. First off, little as far as technology goes, I personally relate everything to gaming. As far as goes, because movies and so on, you know, are different than gaming. I relate better to gaming. So um, console gaming just got the true 4K with the release of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. That is native 4K. Xbox One X was upscale. It had 4K, but wasn't native 4K. Because the games weren't being made in 4K. Even if the Xbox One X had it, manufacturers were making games for the Xbox One X saying, this is 4K, guys. It was still 1080p. PlayStation 4 was 1080p. So, gaming just now got a 4K, and TVs are trying to release 8K. We're not there yet. There's not really any 8K content out. Movies, you go to the movies, and things like that, we're just off 4K. So, because there's a lot of 8K TVs that they were looking to release too, but we're not there yet. It's just the technology is not there.
Yep.
So, but Samsung's are also they're doing their LED TVs from what I saw. They're doing like their OLED TVs are going to have less glare. And then they're also trying to do theirs was more of a concept. They didn't really have an actual display like LG did. Like, they just made a concept. It was just like a little thing. It was like a micro LED.
Mhm.
They're going to micro LED, which is supposedly the next step above OLED. But by the time Samsung releases that, it's not gonna be relevant. So
There was another TV that got brought up. I don't think they had any keynotes or anything on that, but it was on the show floor. It was a TV that folded up.
yeah, I saw that the Seed TV or something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was
The
cool because
C-Seed or something.
it's pretty much literally like it's a tall rectangle, and then it just folded out. And the cool thing is like whenever it folds open, there's you can't see the lines, and the way that they do that is because they brighten up all the LEDs right on the line, so you don't see the black lines. It's a cool concept, but the reason why they made it is so you could put it on your fancy yacht. I'm like, that's kind of dumb. Like, that's I feel like there's better uses than advertising it. Hey, we can put it on my yacht, because I can imagine, like, let's say I have a product. Let's say I'm a salesperson. I have a product. I've got one of those trucks that are, the front opens up or the side opens up, and then I can have that, so I can, granted, at that point in time, you could literally just have something flat, on your wall, so it doesn't take up that much space in the first place. But to be able to bring it out, open it up and everything, I mean, it's kind of a cool concept, just being able to, store a very large TV in a very small rectangle box, and you bring it out, folds open. I don't know.
Yeah, but the Samsung's flagship TV this year is the S95D. So, but they're kind of saying that the Achilles heel, it's saying that the panels are a bit too glossy and reflective because of the brightness levels on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why the S95D is popular, because they're trying to remove the glare from the panels.
Yeah.
So, but that's a whole different subject altogether. But that's one of the things. So, one cool thing that they that I something minor, I just think it's pretty cool. They released this company called Clicks is releasing a case that you put your iPhone in there and you can have a QWERTY keyboard.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Asus came up with a pretty cool laptop that I saw.
You talk about that dual one that folds up, or no?
So the one I'm talking about, there's a screen, and then there's another screen where your keyboard would be, and then there's a Bluetooth attachment. You're able to click on it, then you have a full keyboard. But if you wanted to, you could remove it, then you could open it up, and you've got two screens. The thing is
it the ZenBook Dual, the one you're talking about?
Could be. You'll have to share the screen for me to confirm that. But my big issue is, like, it would be cooler if they had an OLED display that you're able to fold, so then you could literally fold it open and have an entire screen. So either I have a normal laptop, or B, I'm able to fold it open, set it up on a stand, and now I've got this big, huge, like 20-inch display versus a 15-inch display, or whatever that one.
This thing right here.
So that big that big black line, like I feel like that's a missed opportunity by not having a I feel like you're losing some options there. Because if you
for sure,
if you were to fold that sideways, well, unfold it, have it sitting on its side, and then boom, everything you need's right there. So I mean, it's a cool concept, but it just I think they just missed the mark.
I do, yeah. And this next one here, like that says that the best gaming laptop was what you call it, the Alienware. I'm not a big fan of Alienware because
I'm not a fan of Alienware. I think they're overpriced.
It's a glorified Dell.
Yeah, it's glorified Dell. They're overpriced. Their cases suck. Now, they did have that one case about the same time where you're my Samsung rep when I was working at that's some nerd
Sam's
news
Club.
we could get into here in a minute. Gypsy, because Gypsy and her mom used to come in. Did you ever see them?
Really? No, I didn't know that. No.
Oh man,
I didn't know about this whole Gypsy thing until it came news. They used to come into the Sam's Club.
They used to come in. They used to spend so much time.
You were at Campbell, right?
No, we weren't. I was Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Used to hang out over at the what do you call that place? Over at the photo place for a while, and I always thought it was super weird because she was always inside the cart. Like her mom would push her around, she was inside the cart, and I always wondered why, because it didn't look like she was atrophied or anything. I feel like if she couldn't move the way that they were expecting, like maybe she would have been in a wheelchair or something, versus just having her mom put her in the cart. But no, she sat her in the cart. She hung out. She always had a mask on. Her head was always bald. She always had the cap on. Something was always off. And
interesting.
It was obviously a very sad situation. But Jesus Christ, the whole Munchausen by proxy situation. And now she's like some influencer, and she's like what? I remember seeing some things. She was in New York. Oh no, she's got so many book deals and this going on and that going on. No, she's making a lot of money right now because granted, like I don't feel bad for her mom at all. I kind of feel bad that the guy who actually killed the mom got life, because obviously he was mentally not there. I feel like he probably should have gotten some kind of either a shortened sentence, or he should have been.
She's gonna have a lot of long-term health issues though.
Oh yeah, all the shit that her mom pumped into her. Like, pretty sure she got chemo and other things going on. She had the feeding tube. Oh man,
yeah. I think she had some things removed. She talked about.
Yeah.
So, but dude, that brings me back. That was my favorite Sam's Club to go to.
Well, I was there. Duh.
Besides you, I mean, didn't you have what's that one chick?
Zeynep.
Azib, huh?
Zeynep.
Who? Zeynep. Yeah.
Zeynep. Yeah.
I remember.
Actually, I tried to add it. She had her moments where she was either super awesome or she was a raging what.
Yeah.
I tried adding her back because on Twitter it's like, oh, your friend Zeynep is on there. I'm like, oh, I'll add her. And then I checked her on Facebook. Apparently she's like unfriended everybody except for like super close friends and family. So I'm like, yeah, just wonder how she's doing. So yeah, that was an interesting.
But you also had Sarah Page.
Oh, I miss Sarah Page. She was the sweetest. Interesting situation, because I think her husband died, either a car accident or heart issue or something.
Really? When did this happen?
It happened before she started working at. You're talking about like small, mousy little girl, super quiet, super sweet.
Yeah. No, no.
And then
her name was.
We had
she had a baby. Her husband didn't die.
You might be thinking of somebody. I mean, yeah, she ended up having a baby. No, she didn't have a baby until after she left. You're thinking about a different Sarah then, because we had a few people.
She was young, and I mean, maybe she was like, no, she was there because she knew it was not Campbell. Campbell had someone else.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of somebody being pregnant, because I know Sarah Page, the person I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'll have to creep her up on Facebook later, and
yeah,
make sure this is the person I'm thinking.
We'll move on from that.
Yeah, but
it was good times working there. So it's funny. One of the small rapper show, because I was the Samsung representative there for National Retails for a good while. That job ended tragically, unfortunately. The people who should not be named pretty much slandered my name and said I didn't do anything. I just did not do any work. But I'm like, look, when you're going to the same stores every week, there's only so much you can talk about.
Yeah, so it's like we already knew about the phones. I mean, if like obviously you came in and we discussed things, but I was on CNET every other day. Like it was up on the laptop
it was
in the
your
background. Scene. Like that was my thing.
Food.
Well, it's not even my. I just do sales right now. Like right now, my scene is politics and firearms. But yeah, no, I mean, man, I just want to talk about that, right? Like, okay, so relating to CES, kind of, but like technology is kind of to an extent gotten boring. There's obviously specific things that have come out that are pretty cool, but nothing's revolutionary. Nothing's like that extra plus. Everything's like
that's all I was gonna say about the CES. Like I've been like, this is one of the events I've always looked forward to, and this the last few years it hasn't been anything like like Samsung got an applaud because not this year but the year before in 2022 they released their first OLED TV. Oh yeah, great! You're way behind the mark, Samsung.
Yeah.
Samsung's not really innovating like they used to. LG's innovating with that transparent thing, and then last year they did a full-on wireless TV. What they're doing now with the transparent stuff that you were talking about. I can unplug this. What am I doing? There we go. um, so, but yeah, but I mean, as far as computers, like honestly, like like this new ZenBook, I don't know what kind of graphics card it has, but like this this M16R2 Alienware. I didn't see what the specs are in it, but let's see here. Yeah, see, it comes with the the new series, the NVIDIA 4060.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have a 3060 Ti. You have what, 2060?
2070 Super.
Okay, so I have the 3060 Ti. Both our graphic cards run just about every game.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's not as good as, the 3080 Ti or anything, or 3090 Ti, but there's absolutely no game out there that I can't play. I might have to turn down the graphics a little bit if I might not be able to run full ray tracing, but yeah, no, I could play anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With 3060 Ti is still good. So, but I don't know. So yeah, I mean, even here, like if you notice this year in the CES, they didn't really. They usually talk about a lot about mobile phones, and there wasn't a whole lot about mobile.
Well, yeah, because
honestly.
phones right now, the only innovative thing that they're doing at the moment is, the folding phones. Those keep getting better. Cool. I saw a lot of Roomba type things. I'm like, don't get me wrong, those are cool.
Yeah.
But like, who fucking cares? Like, that's not new. It's just like, okay, you got a better feature. Cool. Your Roomba can wipe your ass now. Awesome.
You know what my favorite my favorite thing about the CES this year was? I was like, cool, I want this, but then it's pretty expensive. So GE, they've been making household appliances, and they're releasing their first indoor smoker. Yeah. You can have an indoor smoker, and yeah, it's just what it does. It has like an active smoke filtration technology, and it uses tight gaskets and seals to ensure all the smoke stays inside the appliance. So, but yeah, I mean, the guys at the CES used it, the demoed it, and it worked. But the thing is, it's a steep price. So it's more expensive than an actual smoker.
Yeah.
It's $1,000.
Yeah, that was another thing that I saw in there. It's like, oh, check out this fully electric barbecue pit. I'm like, okay, like that's a fucking George Foreman.
But it's a GE profile. So if you don't know anything about GE has they have three brands, right? They have GE.
Mm-hmm.
GE is their everyday, run of the mill consumer thing.
Yep.
And they have the GE profile. GE profile is kind of like, I want to be fancy, but I don't want to be too fancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with the GE profile in home appliances, like I remember when I worked for a certain retailer, people came in like, I want an ice maker. I was like, cool, I got the Insignia ice maker. It's $100. I don't want that one. Oh, okay. I want a different one. All right, the only other ice maker I have in stock is a GE Opal Nugget maker. And that was like $600 for an ice maker. Tabletop ice maker. I don't know how fancy that thing did, but it's whatever. So, and then GE has their premium line, which is the Cafe series. So I don't know if you've seen Cafe stuff. Cafe is top notch.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of release So GE is getting around, but they're in home appliances like the smoker and their ice maker. It's fancy. I don't know if I'll pay $1,000 for it.
The smoker sounds cool. It'd be nice to be able to smoke things inside, but going back to, again, like, oh yeah, it's an electric barbecue pit. Like, yeah, I've got a George Foreman, whatever. I could grill things inside too. But do you want to see my all-time favorite GE product?
What is that?
That is my favorite GE product.
The gun or the
That's
airplane looking thing?
The gun on the airplane looking thingy. Yeah, it's the A10 Warhog. It goes Burt.
GE made that gun?
Yes, no, GE. Yeah, GE does a lot of defense products.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah,
So
not only are they good at spinning washing machines, they're also good at spinning death.
we'll clean your house, but we'll kill you too.
Yeah,
Don't.
exactly. Yeah, there won't be a house for you to clean afterwards.
So, what do you think about MSI getting into the handheld world now with competing against the Steam Deck or Claw?
I mean, they could have done it years ago. I mean, that's really how
Yeah.
I feel about it. Again, CES is like, okay, this is all old shit. I think the biggest focus this year for them was AI. And
Yeah.
AI's, God, that's such a hard thing to unpack because, like, am I super
We had
excited for AI?
the
Yes. Am I terrified of AI? Yes.
Skynet. Okay,
Yeah,
come on now.
exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that because they Honda released this car, the Saloon, which is gonna be using chat GPT
Mhm.
to enter commands.
Yeah.
So AI powered all the way right there.
BMW had a big showcase on one of their cars. About
So
they've got AI, AI. What is it? Not chat productive, not verb predictive. What do they call that? Language model. Yeah, large language
mhm.
models inside of their vehicles. Which I wonder if that's actually inside. That's one thing I should probably look up, whether or not it's actually inside of the car, or if that is something that is internet required. So if I'm driving, BFE nowhere and I have no internet connection, what good is it?
Right. There's a pair of headphones that Sennheiser released, but still, like, it's just one of those things. Like we keep touching on it. Um, there's just not a whole lot of you know, there's nothing new under the sun anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So,
it's
and it's kind of weird because gaming goes back and forth, right?
mhm.
Some of some of the best games are indie games, and you know, like if you look at Twitch, like look at Fortnite, League of Legends. Those are two of the best viewed games online, and they're nowhere near 4K. So, League of Legends is what came on like the early 2000s.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they updated it. It looks better than what it did in 2000, but it's one of those things. It's just, like we're progressing, but yet we're regressing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, are really into retro stuff and, really, really, really like that stuff. So,
Side note, just because I'm still obsessing over trying to find this stupid game that I'm thinking about, what are those achievements? Never mind. I just figured it out. Continue.
there's really not a whole lot that they've come up with. But let's see here. Indoor smoker. We talked about that laptop, the OLED. Oh yeah. The Samsung's music frame. Did you see this?
Oh no, I didn't. I missed that one.
So, you know how Samsung has the frame TV where it's just so flush with the wall, and it's got you can make it look like a piece of art, and so it's like, oh, is this a TV or is
Yeah.
this an art piece? It's a TV. It's obvious it's a TV. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't. I don't know how people like whatever. So they're releasing this thing called the music frame. It does the same thing but for wireless speakers. So instead of a screen, it's a piece of art to the display. For album covers that you can swap pretty easily,
Hmm.
and it's just wireless speakers. The music frame includes 2 woofers and 2 tweeters and 2 mid-range drivers, and it supports Dolby Atmos. For those who don't know, Dolby Atmos is overhead sound. You ever go to a movie theater, you feel like something's right above you? That's Dolby Atmos. That's the easiest way to explain it. They're upward firing speakers. So, if you would have asked me that 2 years ago, I'd have been like, huh?
Yeah.
But I now know. But yeah, the reviews they got, they said it didn't really sound that good. It wasn't like, they said this wouldn't be noteworthy if the frame didn't sound good, but in our demo, the frame, and then demo, they said it did, I guess, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. They're just trying to make everything look more artsy.
Yeah.
But the frame TV is just one of those things. It's you pay more for a frame TV than you do an actual OLED TV for aesthetics. It's like, you know, that that's what people want. They want aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
They want it to look pretty in their house and not worry about.
Oh, and I get that. I mean, again, it's about the whole AI thing. It's like I would love to have a fridge where I'm able to track, how much, food I've got in there, what's about to expire. Because who was it LG? I think LG was demonstrating their new lineup, and yeah, and it's only like a prototype. It's only able to identify like 30 different food items right now, but. Like, okay, I'm going to put some broccoli in there. Cool. And then on the big display on the right-hand side, boom, it's like, all right, you have this in there. You have that in there. Okay, based on everything that you have inside of your fridge right now, you're able to make, these types of foods. Stuff's super awesome, but it's like, it's not necessary. But of course, you could say the same thing about cell phones. Like, yeah, I don't need to have a cell phone in order to communicate with you. I could call you over a landline. I could send you a fucking carrier pigeon. But
Right.
it's the things in life that makes life, easier to do, so you have more time to do other things, which is great. That's how we have innovation in the first place. If I'm not having to go outside and chop wood for heat, I'm able to work on an invention. I'm able to work in a business. I can, write a book. So. Me, I've got a huge tinfoil hat, so I don't want to get everything super high tech, but at the same time, I also dream about living somewhere where all I have to do is, kind of like Wally. I get to sit in a fucking chair all day and just, scooter me around and do everything that I need to. It's got all my entertainment there.
Right. Yeah, nothing really. The biggest thing that stood out to me at the CES was the OLED TV, but like, I'm surprised this year there wasn't a whole lot of speaking on the AI animals. In the past years, they usually have a bunch of AI animals.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really have a whole lot this year. Also there wasn't a whole lot about vacuums either for whatever reason. That was a big thing too. But Samsung released this thing called the Bally. It was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, there's not really a whole lot left to really discuss as far as that. We've got to cover a little bit of everything of what they released. Yeah, a lot of AI stuff on cars. That's the scariest thing.
Now, there's some cool stuff that I saw in terms of the ability, some like paint changing, like the it wasn't e-ink. I forgot what they called it, but pretty much you had the ability that you're able to, just hit a button and then boom, the external of your car just started changing colors. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, not necessary, but definitely cool. Like I said, there's a lot of cool stuff really, that's what we should have done. We should have been like, oh, these are the coolest things that I saw on CES, which really for me, I think the coolest things was the TV. I think the paint changing on the car, the color of the car changing, that's pretty awesome.
One cool thing that Amazon announced was I don't know if you read Matter. They're officially partnering with Matter.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to do Matter casting on their Fire TVs and Echo Show 15.
Okay.
If you're not familiar with are you familiar with Matter?
I'm not. No.
So we have all these platforms: Google, Siri, Cortana,
Mm-hmm.
Alexa. Matter is one centralized device that controls all of them. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what you use. You have Matter,
Mm-hmm.
then you can hook up your Alexa to it, and now it's Matter, and it controls everything.
That's actually pretty cool.
So it's gonna be one centralized AI that takes care of all that stuff. So then you can so you can have anyone in the house. You can have Google, Alexa, Siri, Cortana, and hook up to Matter. So that's the standard. And so they're doing that. So
yeah. Real quick, because I'm bringing stuff up that I'm doing. So I'm scrolling through right now, looking at all my different games that I've played, and I've got achievements on. And some of these games I remember going to, what's that place called? Blockbuster, and renting them.
Mm-hmm.
The good old days.
Blockbuster. I used to rent tons of games from there.
Oh yeah, no, because
So
one of the games was shit. Fine, I'll scroll all the way to the bottom again. It was I just passed it. Oh yeah, Rainbow Six Vegas. Totally rented that one. That was a fun one to play. Oh, Crackdown. I remember that one. That one was nuts. That's another game that I rented. Saying it had 0 out of 50. Oh, it doesn't have any of my fucking achievement points on here. What the fuck? I had so much gamer score back in the day.
I stopped caring about achievements.
Well, yeah,
Just
but
one of those
back in
things.
the day, like back on the Xbox 360, that's what you did. I mean, it's not that you didn't play games online, but you'd play games for hours, just achievement hunting. I beat everything. I lied. The Assassin's Creeds, I got everything that wasn't a collectible. If it was a collectible where I had to literally search everywhere on a map, I just gave up. I'm like, this is dumb. Also on Halo, when you played online, there's something. Oh, you got to get like 5 headshots, in one, headshot kills in one. It's like I'm not that good. Like everything I did had to be up close and personal. That was about it.
So real quick,
Mm-hmm.
you know what we forgot? We forgot a word from our sponsor. Dubby.
Dubby?
We love our Dubby here at the Nerdy Phase.
Actually, so let's nerd out about something real quick. So I went ahead. I finally got this. I accidentally had it shipped to my parents' house instead of my house because I used autofill.
Look. Let's take a vote. Show your cup, Tom. Show your cup. I'm gonna make a poll, okay? And I want you guys to vote. Who has the best Dubby? Is it me or is it Tom?
I think mine's going to win. The only reason why I don't like mine is I wish mine was black with the white on it versus the red and the white. I'm just not a huge fan.
Yeah,
of
yours
red.
is way better than mine. I'm still gonna make a poll.
Do it.
So, listener, nerd fam, listen to this podcast. Go on Spotify and vote for the best Dubby cup.
Do it. However, so going back to the nerding out a part of it, so I got the sampler pack. Here we're gonna go ahead. And, so by the way, while you're watching this, you're gonna use the promo code Surge SURGE.
That's right.
Get 15% off.
10% off your
10% off. So I did mine. I got my 10% off. That was great. But I was actually really impressed with it. So I got the sampler pack. It came with the cup, which my cup came with not this cup.
I think it's a random cup because I also got the sampler pack. And actually, you see that they changed a little bit. Now they have 3 energy and 2 hydration.
Mm-hmm.
So with W just recently released their hydration line. So if you're not needing energy but you want a hydration drink, instead of Gatorade, you can get the W Hydro, which is for hydration. So 0 sugar. So it's caffeine free, 0 sugar, still better than Gatorade. So
I'm not a huge fan of watermelon, and I've had 2. I had this one. This is the watermelon.
Looks like watermelonada.
That one was actually
lemon.
Pretty good. And then so this one was my favorite so far. This one was delicious. So yeah, 0 sugar. Do these don't have the caffeine in it, but these have the caffeine.
No.
So when I was playing
the Dragonade wasn't that great.
Yeah, Dragonade was a little too bitter, like definitely too powdery. That's the only flavor I haven't liked so far. I've enjoyed everything else. I still have 2 left, but
this one was really good. Peach and Beach.
I think that's the last one of the last 2. I've got Peach and Beach, and I think I've got the Galaxy Granada.
The Galaxy Grenade was really good too. See, mine came with Dub Sludge, which was the Granny Apple one. That one was delicious. I like that one as well.
Okay. But I will say, though, so I woke up too late to make myself a pot of coffee in the morning to go play my game yesterday, and I had 2 of these, one in the morning and one at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So, again, coffee extract, not a bunch of extra chemicals and crazy things in there. So in terms of doing like an energy drink type thing, I did not get any jitters. My heart was not racing like if I were to pound a rock star or something. So yeah, no, check out Dubby. At least start off
promo
get
code
their
Surge.
yeah. If you don't have one of these shaker cups, get it for nothing else, just to get one of those. It's really nice if you're on the go and you just need put some powder or whatever in there. You shake it up, boom, it's mixed up, ready to go.
And the sampler pack went down in price too. I noticed it used to be $20.
Yeah, mine was
now it's
20.
$18.49.
Yeah, so they dropped price. I guess they're getting some traction. So yeah, promo code Dubby. However, though, I'm going to do one more thing because I brought it up. Shadow Complex. This was the game that I was talking about. So pretty much you have like one big
Shadow
huge
Complex.
Yeah, you have one big huge map that you're able to go back and forth through all these different rooms and everything. So it was a 2D platformer.
This image right here. Bring this.
Sorry?
This image. You see my mouse? No, you don't.
No, I don't see your mouse.
Third row, fourth
1,
picture.
2, 3. Oh yeah. So yeah, so you
that right there, yeah.
You called this kind of game what was that again?
It's a Metroidvania.
A Metroidvania.
So
which they also
a lot
say,
of Metroidvanias, huh?
They also say that Star Wars, Jedi Survivor, and those are Metroidvanias. So it's a cool concept. I learned something new today.
Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, they'll probably go more along the lines of Dark Souls games. But it does have the Metroidvania elements.
Okay, well I guess Dark Souls would be a Metroidvania type game.
Right.
Well, I guess are Metroidvanias, are they specifically 2D then?
Typically they are, but most Metroidvanias have a complex map like that. But they typically go 2D games. But still, this game looks interesting. I never heard of it.
It was a good one. Yeah, just a 2D platformer. I mean, 3D assets, but it was a good game. So yeah, no, I start mentioning it, and I've been thinking about this the entire game. I finally found it, and I want to play it again, but I don't know if I could ever. Oh yeah, it was arcade. It wasn't indie. It was arcade. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, if you want, I'll give you a list of Metroidvanias. You can check what some of them are.
I can dig
it. I would, if you really like that type of game. It's a really hard game because it kind of takes a mix between a Dark Souls 2D and a Metroidvania.
Mm-hmm.
Hollow Knight.
I played some Hollow Knight. That was a fun one.
Oh, you played Hollow Knight?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I haven't beaten it, but I
so that's a Metroidvania.
That's an old game now.
Hollow Knight is legendary though. I love the game. I'm waiting for the sequel. I put like 40 hours in that game. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So, but hey, man, honestly, this is kind of, we can bullshit all night about stuff. This is kind of, but, we're kind of at the end of our podcast.
We are.
We told you about our Dubby, Surge, promo code Surge, save 10%. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. There's going to be, I'm kind of, I'll make the announcement now. We're kind of rebranding a little bit. As you all know, I have my personal channel called Surge Reviews. We're going to integrate that into the Nerdy Phase. So you're going to see on the Nerdy Phase YouTube channel, you're going to see a lot more. I'm going to start uploading my videos on there. As far as we're going to have shorts, we're going to have our podcasts. We're going to have we're going to have some screen captures of games, like small reels. Surge Gaming Reviews will be changed to the Nerdy Phase as well. On Instagram, check it out because on there it's gonna have all the reels I made for games I've played. You're gonna see a lot of Overwatch clips, things like that. We're gonna be looking for a more consistent schedule the stream. So my Twitch is the Surge 1182. I'll let you know when that changes over, but I'm gonna see if I can change that over to the Nerdy Phase. Facebook, find me on Facebook. The Nerdy Phase podcast is what it's called. It's going on Facebook. That's our group. Join us. I'll post when I stream there. My Discord as well is called Surge Reviews. That's going to be changed to Nerdy Phase as well. I'll send an invite. I'll put it on the Discord. Sorry, I'll put it on the Facebook so you can all join that Discord as well.
And we're also thinking about doing some Let's Plays too. So either
Mhm.
Serge will play or I'll play, and then we'll just
We're
upload when we can.
last week, I didn't talk about this, but Ray and I restreamed some Lethal Company, and I streamed it. I don't know if he did or not. I streamed some Lethal Company.
Did you download and save it at all, or are we expecting an upload? Okay,
No,
we should start.
I thought I was gonna do it. I thought Twitch did it automatically, but I guess it doesn't.
Nope.
I didn't think Twitch didn't save my stuff.
Yeah, they're all about the stream, and that's it.
Yeah, I'll make sure it does that for next time. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. We laughed, and one of the things about Lethal Company, we use Discord to chat because I just want to chat. But one of the things about Lethal Company is the farther you get away, right? It's harder for you to hear another person. And when you get closer in proximity, you can hear them again because you're only using walkie-talkies. Cool feature, yeah, but we're not here to use that feature. We actually want to talk on Discord and interact and see what's going on. But he thought it would be funny. Whenever he died, he just muted himself, and I'm like, Ray, hey, what's going on? Can you hear me? And I'm just like, shit, what's going on? Oh, I'm turning to start corner. Oh, and all of a sudden this bug comes right at my face. I freaked out. So, fun game. We don't have a consistent schedule to stream yet. We will discuss that, and we'll let you know. But yeah, we want to play games like that, Lethal Company, probably some Overwatch 2, Tabletop Simulator. Be sure to follow us, like, and subscribe. It's gonna all be just a nerdy phase soon.
Yeah, we are looking to grow together.
So, and Ray's in here, but also I'll tell you about his stuff. He is I Love Pie backwards, so it's EIPEVOLI.
Forever.
Space forever. You can find him streaming. He streams on YouTube. I think last I heard he's been streaming Aliens Fireteam Elite. He's a little bit behind the times, but that's Ray for you. Ray's a good time. He's a good time. So follow him, like and subscribe. He'll have his own stuff that you can subscribe to. If you want to follow us as a whole and see everyone playing together as a whole, we'll be playing together as Nerdy Phase on our own streaming platforms. But you can see who's who, and then you can switch to whoever you want to watch. So if you want to see my beautiful face,
Facebook. Oh, sorry, not to Facebook. Shit, to YouTube.
If you want to see my beautiful face, it's the Nerdy Phase. You want to see Ray's ugly mug? Go to I Love Pie backwards. Forever. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah.
EP. I don't know. Epi. He'll tell you. He can say it backwards apparently. So unless he made it up, I don't know.
Yeah, lying son of a bitch.
But hey, that's all the news we have for you. That's all the fun we have. As always, like and subscribe. At the end of the video, you will see where you can find us. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, the Twitter, and you can find us on Instagram. And you can listen to this podcast where you like to listen to your podcasts. Amazon, Audible, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and of course Spotify and Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. It's not called music. Sorry. But yeah, hey, as always, Nerd Fam, stay classy, and we'll see you next time.
Deuces.